철도공원을 한 바퀴 싹 돌고 와서 떨어지게 잠을 좀 잤는데 에너지가 많이 회복돼서 에너지가 있을 때 책을 읽어야 되니까. First, break all the rules. What the world's greatest managers do differently. But it does mean that great managers are aggressive in trying to identify each person's talents and help to cultivate those talents. Have a new husband by Friday. How to change his attitudes. When you tell your husband you wanted him, that he's the man for you, he instantly feels like Brad Pitt or Matt Damon, even though he may look a little bit more likely Danny or Alfred. Limitless. Upgrade your brain. Learn anything faster and unlock your exceptional life. There's no similar evidence that the results should be the same with, say, rap or K-pop, but because one's reaction to music is such a personal thing, it's possible that this music would work for you as well. Your roadmap for success. You can get there from here. Find a mentor. Name the person. Find a mentor. Name the person you know who is growing and who has the most of the expertise in the area where you'd most like to grow. Your goal is to develop a win-win relationship with that person. How to talk to anyone. How to make them never forget you with a killer complaint. Would you like to have a little trick up your sleeve, potent enough to kickstart commerce, ignite a friendship, or even a love affair? I'll give you one, but only if you heed its warning label. You must register your tongue as a lethal weapon once that you've mastered the following technique. It's called the killer compliment. Shredded beef with green chilies in soy sauce. The sausage delicious. To drizzle on rice. Cover the beef with water in a pot and bring to a boil. The Retirement Change, a non-financial guide from top retirement experts. Once that you are done, think about how much of your time is spent doing activities that are meaningful to you and how much time you spend on other things. Brilliant presentation. How you put yourself across to your audience is the key. No, you are not expected to a professional actor, but you are expected to be a brilliant presenter. The Everyday Hero Manifesto. Activate your positivity, maximize your productivity, serve the world. Make me think of the words I read after I visited Darlis at the Bija house in the small fishing village of Cardex while on a speaking tour in Spain. I do not understand why, when I ask for grilled lobster in a restaurant, I am never served cooked at the telephone. Exactly. Surviving the technological alteration of the modern mind. Tips for managing techno-brain burnout. When faced with ambiguous choice, the brains of the amygdala and the orbit or frontal cortex consistently fire up. The talent is overrated. What really separates world-class performers from everybody else? The challenge is to keep the inevitable personal agenda from becoming destructive. Gender studies. The nexus between women and family occupies a prominent place in the discourse surrounding the liberation of women. A long, brighter future, happiness, health, and financial security in an age of increased longevity. The family was not only a social unit, it was an economic one. Children contributed labor to the family farm or general store or to their father's trades. Marriages were functional. You didn't expect your spouse to make you blissfully happy any more than you would assign that role to your business partner. It's not that there weren't the great love stories in marriages of the past, but that wasn't the expectation of marriage. Becoming the boss. New rules for the next generation of leaders. P.S. Tell people the best way to communicate with you too. One of the perks of being a leader is that your direct report should be having the style conversation with you. If the members of your team have not asked how you prefer to communicate, it's okay to initiate this conversation yourself. Simply say, let's have a chat about communication style to make sure we are on the same page, and then outline your most important do's and don'ts. Public speaking skills. Overcome the fear of public speaking. becoming the poser in a good way. My mom had a thing about the posture. It was always about posture with that woman. I'd leave to catch the bus from school, and the last thing I would hear from the open window was, "Allison June, put those shoulders back." All these years later, I still hear her in my head every time I catch myself slouching. Do more greater work. Stop the busy work and start the work that matters. But days don't stop. Carry on. Do more great work. The challenge of starting something. Even though you have new ideas, is difficult. It's also the easy part. At this point, it's all theory. No one's upset. No one has broken a sweat. But to commit to action, create the consequences. You have to disrupt. You have to disrupt the status quo and stop doing something that's on your list now so you can start something new. People are going to react, some positively and some negatively. You'll create a ripple in the universe. Ten powerful traits of positive people. They've spent countless hours. They've spent countless hours and days in the gym, developing their talents and perfecting their skills. The last thing they should do is throw it away through thoughtless misconduct. I advise them to stay away from the wrong people and the wrong places, and to be home before midnight. The Cancer Book, 101 Stories of Courage, Support, and Love. I had worked with my husband and the father of my children through a dark valley, looking for a bright mountain top. Although we never reached our destination, a stranger reminded me that not every journey ends as we wish, and we must accept that a life in God's hands will always go His way. These intimate stories by cancer patients and their loved ones, medical professionals, and friends are a must-read for anyone affected by cancer. Create your own future. How to master the 12 critical factors of unlimited success. Finally, once you are fully insured and you have a financial cushion put aside, you should begin to invest carefully in areas you have thoroughly studied, or with other successful people whom you know and trust. Don't lose the money. Financial accumulation in your life should be based very much on the ratchet effect. Each time you achieve a certain financial level, you should log it in with careful money management and by salary ensuring against any unfortunate event that might occur. Once you have made the money, you must use all your intelligence to hold on to it. Don't lose the money. Ratchet effect. Ethics 101. The golden rule begins with you. Author and speaker Zig Ziglar recently sent a note to me after listening to a lesson I had done on the leadership of our nation's founding fathers. Zig and I have been good friends for years, and I always enjoy receiving his perspective and wisdom on leadership. Here's what he said. I wonder if that's the reason 3 million Americans in 1776 produced Washington, Madison, Jefferson, Hamilton, Adams, etc., and why in the year 2002 we have no one to equal the man of that caliber. Outsmart your brain while learning is hard and how you can make it easy. Most students have that example in their notes and studied. Then the exam contains this item. Night fell like a gentle. Night that fell like a gentle snow is an example of a smile, a metaphor, an analogy, none of the above. Having studied the curtain of night that fell as an example of a metaphor means that your memory will have those concepts bundled together. Don't sweat the small stuff in love. Then one day it hit me. How to click with people, the secret to better relationship in business and in life. By inviting other people into the discussion, you increase the chances of gathering more useful information while diluting the possible impact of the position. Eating disorders for dummies. You can't measure pain on a scale. Then you want to bring a lot of the qualities you'd bring to group therapy, such as being prepared to focus on recovery skills rather than weight and food, the ability to express yourself and be truthful, the ability to let others have the group's attention and openness to other points of view. Wake up and live. This book will help you reach your goals and achieve success. Thirdly, the advice is not to dash out and impress others by posing, pretending, or downright lying about one's successes. The only one to impress, at least at first, is yourself, and that only to the extent of making for yourself a congenial working atmosphere. The recommendation, once more, is simply this: act as if act as if it were impossible to fail. Five little tricks to handle invitation, the good, the bad, and the bombers. 5 little tricks to handle invitation, the good, the bad, and the bombers. The motivation myth, how high achievers really set themselves up to the win. When your team delivers, you enjoy the fruit. I love female orgasm, an extraordinary orgasm guide. We say if you discover a new area that feels good to touch, great, enjoy. If not, there's no need to lose sleep over it. There are plenty of good spots already. Apathy small talk. Learn how to talk to anyone, anytime, anywhere, even if you are painfully shy. Break contact roughly every 3 hours second by glancing away. Fidgeting is a sign of nervous. Not only does it reduce your appearance of competence, but it also makes others uncomfortable. A simple way to avoid fidgeting is to find something to hold that's appropriate to the situation. If there is nothing to hold, then just lightly clasp your hands in a relaxed grip. A tighter grip promotes nervousness, and others will subconsciously pick up on this. Black box thinking. Why most people never learn from their mistake, but some do. What excites me most is that we are still only at the beginning. By the end, the heat cyclone could separate dust smaller than 0.3 micron. This is approximately the size of the particles in cigarette smoke. Dyson's practical engagement with the problem had posed a change in the theory. The element, how finding your passion changes everything. Perhaps you didn't have the confidence to follow the passion earlier and now believe that the moment is gone. Behind the scenes, for those of you who'd love to king me in the face, I'll save you the trouble. Empty nesters, one-on-one stories about surviving and thriving when the kids leave home. He enjoyed demolishing it. I know his friends would have enjoyed helping him. I would have enjoyed watching them and taking pictures. Secrets about life every woman should know. 10 principles for total emotional and spiritual fulfillment. All obstacles are lessons. All obstacles are lessons in disguise. Honor them and learn from them. Ultra learning. Master hard skills. Outsmart the competition and accelerate your career. Whatever else his failings, it was this pattern of trying out an idea and working on it aggressively that Van Gogh applied brilliantly. The formula to achieve bigger goals through accelerating teamwork. Chad is your buyer. He chooses his clients just because someone wants to work with him doesn't mean they can. That's freedom of relationship. You can become the buyer in all aspects of your life. You do this by rejecting anything that isn't in line with your vision. Being the buyer takes courage, but over time it will become the only way you engage in relationship. You will become incredibly picky about your relationship because you are incredibly clear about who your future self is, your vision, and your priorities. When you begin saying no to people, obligation, and the situation you don't feel fully aligned with in your gut, then and only then will you be able to expand your competence and purpose. Instead, you will engage only in high-value relationships where both who's yourself and the other person are totally aligned and can enhance each other in powerful way. Personal competence comes from making progress toward goals that are far bigger than your present capabilities. Who's pulling your strings? How to break the cycle of manipulation and regain control of your life. Whether the victim knowingly or, more likely, inadvertently, collude with his own domination by the manipulator, the negative emotional impact is essentially the same. In addition to the confusion, frustration, hostility, and dissatisfaction just described, the victims also report feeling exploited, misunderstood, demeaned, or taken for granted. They also express feeling controlled and or out of control. Eventually, victims feel depressed, demoralized, stressed, worried, and anxious. 4 steps to building your future. Personal branding guru. The key to successful public relations is to create the relationship Would you rather send a Hail Mary email to someone you've never met before and possibly be the victim of bad publicity online, or send a quick email to a friend asking for help? The answer is obvious. To so focus on the relationship first and your self-promotion second. Effective PR can produce visibility and perceived value for your personal brand. 100 things successful people do. Little exercises for successful living. Put it in action. Do not agree it in the first place. Never agree to do something when you know you won't be able to it. Abraham Lincoln hit the nail on the head when he said we must not promise what we ought not, lest we be called on to perform what we cannot. If we are not sure, then say so. It is always better to disappoint by saying no beforehand rather than later by not performing as expected. The 21 Success Secrets of a Self-Made Millionaire. Determine your highest priorities and concentrate on them single-mindedly. A double-minded man is unstable in all ways. Do what comes to your hand to do. Your ability to determine your highest priority and then to work on that high priority until it is completed is the primary test and measure of your willpower, self-discipline, and personal character. It is the hardest habit to develop, but also the most important if you want to be a big success. Here is the formula. Make a list of everything you have to do before you begin working toward any goal. Set priorities on that list by asking yourself for a question over and over. Question number 1 is, what are my highest value activities? What do you do that is more valuable than anything else to your work and your business? Question number 2 is, why am I on the payroll? What exactly have you been hired to accomplish? Focus on results, not activities. Managing your boss. Perceived discrimination makes many part-timers feel defensive about their status, which can put them on the offensive. Change is good, you go first. 21 ways to inspire change. Measure results. Let's circle back to the example of a company attempting to create a customer-first culture. The adversity paradox, an unconventional guide to achieving uncommon business success. From 1985 to 1992, global industries acquired numerous assets, many of them large and very specialized construction bodies, some for less than 10 cents on the dollar.